Howdy everyone, it's me! Now, you may be wondering why I have Chillington music playing in the background. Well, that's because today is a very special day today. Today is officially Chillington Day! Well, that's what it says on the Let's Train Together calendar. So yeah, today is Chillington Day, and in honor of Chillington Day, I'm going to be doing a review on the Season 6 special, Celebrate Chuggington! So, let's begin! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing a review on Celebrate Chuggington. Now, like, no offense to Celebrate Chuggington, I love that special, but that's not what the title of the video says. I'm not doing a review on Celebrate Chuggington. And also, I'm pretty sure maybe about like 5 or 10% of you guys watching right now even care about Chuggington. The rest of you guys are just like, nerp. So yeah, not doing a review on Celebrate Chuggington. Maybe next year. Sorry, Wilson. No, so, not doing a review on Celebrate Chuggington today. What I am doing a review on today is Project G-1. So, today... Oh my god. Anyways, so, today, Project G-1 turns 3 years old. Yeah, crazy to believe that it's been that long. Now, I'm sure a majority of you guys, who know about Project G-1 are questioning me right now. What do you mean it turns 3 years old? Project G-1 was uploaded on September the 2nd. Well, I laughed. You are wrong. Now, yes, Project G-1 was uploaded on September the 2nd. But here's the thing. This is a re-upload. Originally, Project G-1 was uploaded on the 31st of August. Hence why I'm doing this review. Now, the reason for the re-upload is because in the original upload of Project G-1, there were an extra 2 minutes of time. And in those extra 2 minutes, there was 2 scenes that were then deleted or removed from the re-upload of Project G-1. And those scenes involve James and Smudger. I don't have a toy with Smudger, and I probably never will. But those scenes involve James and Smudger getting tickled, as Paul said, by those steamy characters. And, well, let's just say that Paul, I believe he got into trouble with YouTube, and a lot of the people who watched the original upload of G1 didn't like it, so he had to delete the original upload of Project G1, and then he re-uploaded it on the 2nd of September. So, that's a little backstory for you on the whole re-upload. So, yeah, but technically, today still marks the 30th anniversary of G1, so I'm going to be doing a review on it. So, of course, before I go over, like, you know, things I liked and disliked about Project G1, I'm going to go over the description of the movie, which is on the wiki, as well as the original video, but I'm reading it on the wiki for some reason. Anyways, so, the description for Project G1 says, following the public hysteria, I think that's how you pronounce that word, yeah? Following the public hysteria following the broadcast of the Shed 17 documentary, further revelations are uncovered about the events on Soda Island in the early 80s. However, a much more sinister force threatens the remaining engines of Soda Island. Following the revelations of an anonymous whistleblower, a shocking series of events will lead to disaster. Following Keith Hartley as he guides us through another magical story of love, betrayal, and admission. Don't ask why I put on that voice while reading that thing. So, that was the description for Project G1. Now, I'm just gonna go over, like, random things about what I liked and what I disliked about the movie. So, first things first, what I liked about the movie. Now, the animation in this movie, while still mostly simple and kind of cheap at times, comparing it to its prequel, Shed 17, it has greatly improved. And, yeah, the animation in Project G1 has greatly improved over Shed 17, and the animation on the course of Paul Vid's videos will continue to improve over time. So, yeah. The The voice acting in this movie is really good, particularly Diesel's voice. Diesel is voiced by a person called Ben B, and his voice acting for Diesel is really, really good. Like, in particular, in the scene where Annie just burned to death in front of Diesel, his acting in that scene was amazing. Like, really good. As for the other actors, like Paul, Vinny, Jacob, they were all good as well as the other people who acted in this movie, as well as the stock footage narrators. The comedy in this movie was pretty good. Love the scenes where Cranky was just like screaming due to the things that were going around him. The scene where like the Enches were getting high on Welsh coal was funny. Clarabelle's deformed face was humorous. What else? I know this may be a bit silly, but and also kind of dirty, but I actually kind of laughed at the scene where James and Smudger got tickled. I also forgot to mention that I was one of the lucky people to view that scene, or, you know, the original upload of Project G-1 with those two scenes in it. So, yeah, that's kind of how I knew about the re-upload before, and those scenes being in it. The deaths in this movie, well, I don't know if I would call it a movie. It's technically a documentary, but whatever. I'll just call it a movie for the sake of this video. The deaths in this movie were really good. That may be kind of sadistic coming from me, but, you know, they were really good. Like, Oliver's death, Annie and Clarabelle's death, G1's death, and Douglas's death. I need to talk about Douglas's death for a minute. Douglas's death in this movie, in my opinion, has got to be not only the scariest death in Project G1, but also the scariest death in the Shed 17 franchise. Like, seriously, this scene, while it didn't make me, like, run out of my room screaming, no, nothing really scares me anymore, but, like, when I first watched the scene of Donald being put in the pressure chamber, and then Douglas's parts just, like, falling off, revealing, like, a fleshy mass with a face that wasn't the face of Douglas, it was just eyeballs and a mouth, and skeleton arms on the side of him. Like, that literally creeped me out. Like, I actually thought that was scarier than Thomas's death, because, well, he didn't exactly die in Shed 17 as revealed in Prodigy 1, but, like, that was just a skeleton. Here for Douglas, we just have, like, a ball of cookie dough with a face. Yeah, so that creeped me out, but it creeped me out in a good way, I guess. I don't know. Other humorous moments that I found about the movie were Paul basically poking fun at, like, the fans' reaction to Shed 17, Gordon setting Knapford on fire, Prodigy 1 also throwing Percy's dead corpse at the tanks and soldiers. Now, as for other things that I liked about Prodigy 1, the emotional scenes in Prodigy 1. Now, when it comes to, like, sad scenes in shows or movies, I'm not usually one to cry at them, either because I'm not that sensitive of a person, or because I don't care about that movie or show. I mean, I have cried, like, either cried at, like, some things in, like, one or two shows before, and almost cried at, like, two moments in another one. But as for Prodigy 1, like, again, although I didn't cry at any of the emotional scenes, I will say that they were very well handled. Like, the scene where Duck started killing Oliver and he realized what he did, and the scene where Annie died in front of Diesel and he had to run over her dead corpse, and at the end of the scene where Thomas had a breakdown over G1 or Gordon's death. Like, those scenes were really nicely handled, in my opinion. And as for, like, other small things here and there, that's pretty much it in terms of positives. And that was a car. Another thing that I liked about Prodigy 1 was Diesel 10's out of nowhere appearance at the end. That was cool. Now, on to negatives about Prodigy G-1. Now, there aren't many, but, there still are a few. First of all, there's Diesel. Now, my main problem with Diesel doesn't have to do with how he was portrayed in Prodigy 1. I'm fine with that. But what I'm trying to say is that Diesel, well, that's what I'm trying to say here. In Shed 17, you had Mavis, who died due to the diesel in her body, burning her internal organs. Then you have Diesel here, and presumably other biofused Diesels, who work just fine. So that kind of contradicts, I think I'm using that in the right term, of what happened to Mavis in Shed 17. And you could argue that, Diesel was, or Kevin was biofused into a Diesel sometime before Mavis, but like I said, he's able to work just fine. So I don't know how that works. And speaking of contradicting with Shed 17, you have Gordon. There's a few scenes that so happen. There's a few scenes in Prodigy 1 that have scenes with Gordon that I'm guessing took place before Prodigy 1. In Shed 17, Gordon died when he was being first fired up. When he was fired up, he started cooking from the inside, or the heat started cooking him from the inside, and then he exploded. However, in Prodigy 1, there's scenes of him working just fine. So, I don't know how that's possible either. As for other negatives, kind of just include a few animation errors. However, that's not exactly the fault of Paul, since I think he's the only one who animates his videos. Near the end of the movie, you had that scene where Project G-1 threw Percy at the tanks, and then later on, during an aerial shot of Project G-1's back, you could see Percy from his butt. So, yeah. I think that's it in terms of my negatives for the movie, but they definitely don't outweigh the positives. Oh, speaking of positives, one more thing I forgot to mention is that, my two favorite characters, Thomas and Duck, survived in the movie, so that's nice. And apparently these two are still alive. If you don't know what I mean by that, it's because Thomas is now president of Sodor, and apparently, as confirmed by Paul about it was probably 2 years ago, he said that Duck is apparently still alive in Japan. So yeah, that's nice. I guess that's it for my review on Project G-1. Now, as for my rating, I don't know, maybe a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Now, if you're wondering whether or not I like Project G-1 more than Shed 17, well, here's the thing. At the time, when Project G-1 first came out, I did prefer it over Shed 17. However, as of this year, as the months went on, I kind of grew a little more appreciation for Shed 17, and sooner or later, kind of like Shed 17 a little more than Project G-1 now. But, that's not saying much, because I still like Project G-1 as much as Shed 17. But, yeah. So, I guess that's it for my Project G-1 review. Oh, and by the way, yesterday? No, wait, no, it wasn't yesterday. 2 days ago, I made a post on my community, showing a preview of a Sandy custom that I'm working on. And no, it's not Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob, no. That little pink box thing from the All Engines Go reboot. I've been making a model of her. And if you're wondering, if I'm almost finished yet, the answer is yes. I should be finished with the custom today, hopefully. And yeah, whether or not I finish the custom today, excuse me, sorry, or tomorrow, I should be able to do a review on her tomorrow. Uh, Real quick, I'll give you a quick preview of the process that I have on her. There she is. She's over there. So, yeah, showcase her tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, bye.